Hello everybody. It is the day before the multi-group and YouTube Mary's Mini. Have quite a few people who have indicated that they plan on joining in. Let me kind of recap what a Mary's Mini is, and then I'll talk about one little aspect of what some people have been asking me questions about concerning calorie counting, and I'm going to address that in just a little bit. But Mary's Mini is a program, again, that was created by Dr. McDougall's wife, Mary McDougall. This is a diet. This is not the lifestyle such as Starch to Solutions for Dr. McDougall or Maximum Weight Loss, which is more restrictive than Starch to Solutions. But Mary's Mini is a whole lot more restrictive even than the Maximum Weight Loss. Her philosophy is that if you only pick one starch and you stick to that one starch for the entire 10-day period, or whatever period of time that you plan on doing the Mary's Mini, most people do it for 10 days, and hers was designed for 10 days, then you would end up getting a little bit bored with having the same starch and eating for the sake of eating. That after a while, you'll only eat when you're hungry or when you need that nourishment, and you won't tend to go back and overeat because you're very limited with what it is that you can have. As a basic understanding of what you can have on a Mary's Mini, pick your starch. Mine is going to be potatoes. Some people do rice, brown rice, but if you pick rice, you can have any kind of rice. If you pick potatoes, you have to stick with either your potatoes, white, gold, and together, all of those, or sweet potatoes, but you can't switch back and forth with sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. Some people do corn minis. With the corn mini, there are a few other additions to the corn mini that some people seem to like, such as being able to have polenta and stuff like that. And then, quinoa or whatever. If you choose a grain with this Mary's Mini, it is important that you get lots of green and yellow non-starchy vegetables, because the grains are lacking in some of the nutrients that are needed that potatoes have. So it's so important that you sort of look at the document that I'm going to post underneath so that you can get very specific, a lot of specifics concerning the Mary's Mini. And of course, no oil. No oils with whole food plant-based as a rule anyway. And I'll talk more about the no oil thing if I can remember before I finish today. So the one starch, all of the green and leafy and yellow vegetables that are non-starchy that you want. This program is designed to just either get you started with whole food plant-based eating or help you drop a few pounds. And it does do that. The very first ones, you tend to lose a little bit more than the ones afterwards, but still it's a nice progression going in the right direction. It is a diet, so it is actually designed for weight loss. And so the what one question that I did get from a few people is, do you count your calories? And the response to that is, no, I don't. I do something else. And most people who have a really good understanding of what whole food plant-based eating is all about, we concentrate on something more than just calories. But there again, if you are a calorie counter, if you're someone who needs to do those things with numbers, by all means, do whatever it is that you need to do to help yourself with your success. But what I look at is a term that is well known in this area is called calorie density. And if you have a good, strong understanding of calorie density, then you'll understand that you really don't need to count calories if your only reason for counting calories is to be able to lose weight. Calorie density basically says that if you pick your foods that are lower in calorie density, and I think Chef AJ actually gives us a qualifier. She says that if you pick your foods that are fewer than 600 calories per pound, then you're okay with consuming those whenever you're hungry. It's when you pick foods that are greater than 600 calories per pound. That's when you tend to run into trouble. Now, keep in mind, no one will typically eat a pound of nuts at one time, right? But if you just look at how many calories you would consume if you were to eat a pound of them, then that does not fall under the calorie density level that we need to stick to. Same thing with bread, same thing with pasta, those things made out of flour. Same thing with avocados. You know, that's the sort of thing that's kind of good for you as a good fat. But if you're trying to lose weight, you do want to limit those sorts of things. Same thing with the nuts. You know, many of our nuts they're good for us. The seeds, and I get my fill of my seeds during my 4 days off, the Mary's Mini or the Maximum Weight Loss Program. But if you're trying to lose weight, those things that are higher in calorie density should be limited or avoided. And that's the best way that I can think of explaining it to you. What I have done is I've linked a video. It's a YouTube video of Jeff, last name starts with an N, I think it's Novick, I think. He works with Dr. McDougall. He has a wonderful explanation of calorie density. And so if you will take a minute and just go on and look at his video and get that total understanding, then hopefully after looking at that video a couple of times, you'll have a really good understanding of what calorie density is all about. Calorie density is your friend. And the same thing with the term nutrient density. And Dr. Furman talks about nutrient density a lot. So if you can replace those things that are calorie dense in your diet as a regular practice, not just when doing a Mary's Mini, that will help you continue to lose weight. And then start picking those things that are nutrient dense, those things that that give you that strong push toward those nutrients, such as, berries. You get lots of nutrients in that, and your cruciferous vegetables, they have lots and lots of nutrients in them. So if you can really pack a punch with what you're choosing as far as your non-starchy vegetables, and even some of your starchy vegetables have a lot of nutrients in them as well, then you're headed in the right direction. As far as that's concerned. Another question that I have gotten is, what is the deal with oil? Why is it that I can't have oil? My goodness, I'm making all of these changes. Why can't I just have some oil? Well, there's a couple of reasons behind that. Number one, if you're trying to lose weight, then oil is extremely calorie dense. If you look at a pound of oil, you're not just looking at 600 calories. You're looking into the thousands. That's one thing. But more importantly, oil damages the endothelial cells. And endothelial cells are those inside linings of our arteries. Those we want to keep as pristine as possible. We don't want anything to happen to our endothelial cells. A lot of us who are trying to fix things, like if you have high cholesterol, if you have high triglycerides, if you have any of that stuff that's an indicator that you could be forming some plaque on the inside of your artery walls, those are the endothelial cells. And so when we put a lot of oil in there, even if it's not saturated, it damages those cells. We want to make our endothelial cells, nice and good for our system. We don't want to damage them. Oil just damages endothelial cells, period. And then, of course, it just adds to the overall health. And that's what, as far as whole food plant-based eating is concerned. So just all of the superstars in the whole food plant-based arena all agree that a whole food plant-based diet should not include any added oil. And so that's just a thing with whole food plant-based. If I can find something one day this week that explains the oil thing better than I can, I will post it in one of the videos. So let me tell you what's coming up this week. Starting tomorrow, a lot of people are going to start the Mary's Mini. If you don't start tomorrow, it's fine. If you want to kind of look and see how things are going, and then you start Tuesday or Wednesday for yourself, that's fine as well. No one has to start on the same day, but since I'm leading this in a few of the groups, a couple of the Facebook groups, and here on my YouTube channel, we're going to start on Monday. If you want to start with me. Now, this is my 4th Mary's Mini. I've lost about 12 pounds so far. I lose very slowly. I believe just about anybody who does them back to back like I am with the 4-day break in between will probably lose a whole lot more than just 12 pounds, but I am ecstatic with my little 12 pounds. And I'm hoping for about another 3 in this upcoming 10 days. So that's what my goal is. I'm hoping for 3 more. That would make me really happy. And so, starting tomorrow in the groups and here on YouTube, my videos are going to be a little bit shorter, but every day I'm going to post. Every day I'm going to post a little video. It's not going to be very long. Some may be longer if I have something to say. Some will just simply say, welcome, we're on day 3, or we're on day 2, or we're on day 5. Just a little word of wisdom, and then we'll go on with our day. And then those will be posted in the couple of groups that I'm leading this in, and it will be here for you. So every morning you can look for something from me here on YouTube to just kind of guide us through each day. I'll talk about what happened the day before and so on. Okay, the only day that we will not have a fresh video will be tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be day 1 of the Mary's Mini. And the next video I put out will be day 2, where I'm going to talk about day 1. Okay? And then just if you're following along, just write in the comments and we can have a little conversation going on. And if you're following along in one of the Facebook groups, I'll go on and post that in my days, day 1, day 2, day 3, and then we can have a little conversation going on. If you came up with a good dish or something that you want to share, tell us about it. How things are going with your Mary's Mini, and so on. Now, a couple of the things you can look for at the bottom of this particular video, I'm going to post that link with Jeff. I believe his last name is Novick. I'm going to post that link where he talks about calorie density. I'm going to repost that link to Brand New Vegan's explanation of a Mary's Mini. He has it in writing, and his explanation is like perfect. And so I'm going to go on and put his there. And also in his explanation, he has a couple of links in there too that will help you. I'm also going to post Mary McDougall's the newsletter where she talks about the Mary's Mini. And then there is also going to be a video where Mary McDougall and Dr. McDougall are talking about the Mary's Mini in an interview. So all of the information that you need will be right there. And I'm hoping that everybody will find some degree of success, whether what you're looking for is losing weight, then I hope you find success there. If what you're looking for is to reset your taste buds, to begin a good, strong, whole food, plant-based diet, I hope you find your success there as well. One thing to keep in mind, guys, let's say you get to day 3 and you mess up and you say to yourself, oh, well, I've messed up anyway. Let me tell you what mess ups, what that means. If you mess up on day 3 at lunch, then at dinner, get back on it. That's how this works. Just because you mess up doesn't mean you have a free day. It means the very next minute that you can, that you have to eat something, get back on the program. So just because you have a few digressions there does not mean you were not successful. It just means, nobody's perfect. But you do not have to announce anywhere to anyone that you messed up. Just get right back on it the next meal, the next time you put something in your mouth. That is the best way that I can explain that to you. This whole thing is a journey. It's not a destination. And so if you mess up, that's not your destination. That's just part of your journey. Just get on right back on it, and let's continue to make some progress and to make ourselves proud. All right, guys, I will see you all again in a couple of days. Bye-bye.